Our today's topic is basic tools in Power BI. What tools we can use for better visualization in Power BI. So now we are very familiar the types of charts and use cases there, and we are really familiar when to use which kind of visualization where we have to use. Now moving on, and we are starting with first tables. Table is the one tool which we really use to represent source data used for analysis and visualization. And table also can be used for comparison, composition, and relationship analysis for different variables. And for raw data representation also we can use tables. And it's really useful when there are few variables and input data. You can't use for multiple variables tables because it will not create a conveying informative information. We can store although in table, but it's really not be associated, will not give any meaningful information by looking at that table if we have multiple variables. So when to use tables? If you want to drill down into actual accurate value, precise value in your data, if you need to visualize value that involves multiple units of measurements like revenue, distance, day, time, year. If you want to use precise value up for some decimal value, if you want to see the value for different months for different year, we can use tables. And if you are interested in quantitative information but not distributive or trends, we should use table. When we don't really do not use table, first, raw numbers do not convey meaningful information. So for raw number storage, we should not use tables. And if you want to show the general form of relationship between multiple variables, general form of relationship between multiple variables, table can be used. Table should not be used, sorry. And if you have two variables, then table can be used for showing a relationship between them. But more than two variables, tables is not a good way to store and to show the relationship between variables. And then matrix came into picture. After table, matrix is a new one tool. So Power BI matrix version is a same version of Excel pivot table. We can use multiple dimensions of data can be for conveying information by using matrix. Multiple dimension of data can be conveyed. And for display aggregated values for different categories and subcategories, we can use matrix. And if we go to this column chart, we can see there are categorical values on horizontal axis, x-axis, and there are continuous values on y-axis. So for different countries, this column chart is showing sum of sales for some particular product. We can see in continuity Brazil having maximum number of sales and Guyana have least number of sales. So we are showing here categorical and continuous in one chart. So this is a better way of representation. And on that tooltip, we can even show how much quantity is there. So this is a picture for sum of sales for some particular product for different countries, and we are showing sales in a continuous nature. So this is the beauty of column chart. So column chart are used to compare values across categories or changes in a value over a period of time for a single category. Users are interested in the actual precise value for each category, then we should go for column chart. In column chart, we can compare heights of the bar for relative measures. So as we go to the back, as we go back, we can see Colombia have little more sale than over Chile, and Peru have uh, more sales than Colombia. Not little, but more than little. We have difference of 5,000. So for comparative analysis or for relative analysis, we can use column chart. What are the difference between column charts and bar chart? Column charts are often referred to as bar charts in Power BI. A column chart has vertical bars and a bar chart has horizontal bars. So this is the difference in Power BI. Column chart has vertical chart and bar chart has horizontal charts. So both are showing quantities. So now we are moving to clustered bar or column charts. For multiple sets of data items, when we need to compare, each set belongs to a certain category, we really go to a clustered bar and usually use a single color to represent the same subcategory across all sets. If we say there is a sales of particular company like Airtel and we are selling four different products, then by using clustered bar we can easily show that, and we can use different color for each category, each subcategory. See, this is a good example of clustered column chart. Here it is showing three variable test score for different grade and for different subjects. So we are conveying information for two different grades. What are the scores in two different subjects? For example, in class 8, test score for English is 60 and for math it's up to 80. Similarly, in class 9, maths have test score of 80 and English has 70. So we are having clustered information. We are having more than two variables and we are showing it very beautifully. It's a bar chart. So we are using here horizontally, here vertically and here horizontally. It's showing information about two locations, New York and California, and the jobs for analysts and scientists in two different locations are given. We can easily see in California, we are having a role for scientists more than analyst, more than New York. So for different kind of representations, and we are comparing income to job role for scientist is this and salary for this how much. So we can see there is least salary for in California for analysts and there are less number of jobs there. So when we need to compare and analyze and for representation we use stacked charts and bar charts for more than two variables. What are the best practices for column or bar charts? You should use when the number of categories being compared is small. Start the numerical axis at 0 and the bars are not truncated and the magnitude of value should be clear. Use value labels for each bar to help with readability. And what are the best practices for column bar chart? You should use stacked bar only when the values can be summed meaningfully, like Asia sales on North America sales. You should use clustered bar when values represent different dimensions, for example, sales and profits. You should use solid colors rather than strips for the bars. It is best to keep the visual clean and crisp so it can be readable. It's all about different kind of it's all about basic tools in Power BI which we can use for different for information representation in our visualization. Okay friends, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. This is all about